Hey, what's going on, guys? 3DS Freeze here, or Jacques. I'm just gonna start saying Jake. It's just easier. So how's it going, guys? So last time I kind of just talked about, like, my little return to, making some of these videos. Because my commute from school and my home is roughly an hour. So I have all the time in the world to talk. And the thing is, a majority of my driving is I'm literally in one lane for like over a half an hour. So, and honestly, I just talk to myself anyway. I can't really look at the camera, sadly. But I mean, I think that, and it's cool because I've heard some people say they really enjoy listening to my videos. And that's what I would recommend doing because there's nothing interesting happening. I mean, you get to just see my face, my hat and shirt, and the steering wheel, and occasionally my hand. But other than that, though, you're kind of just... I've heard people say, like, if there's not a podcast on that they want to hear, they'll listen to my videos. And that's honestly really cool. Because I have so many thoughts and things and whatnot. So, yeah. So, I guess I wanted to tell you guys about... Because I was kind of just telling you guys about, like, some of the work things I've been doing, like how I got into a new school and stuff. So I actually have a job. I actually work at a shoe store, and what's it called? I'm a shoe salesman, and it's honestly super nice. I actually work for Red Wing, but it's like family owned, and so it's really, really nice. And like the people are like really nice. They're Christian. Most of them are conservative, but not like too conservative, so it's like a nice, it's a healthy environment. And we don't talk about politics and at work, so because that's the thing, like I don't like even like my own political views, like being conservative. I like hearing both sides. I don't like hearing just one side. Like actually something that's been happening is that my cousin Michael, because he's actually moving to California and he's been coming over, and he's pretty liberal, generally speaking, and I enjoy hearing what he has to say because it's good, it's healthy and good to hear, opinions and views. And honestly, I find that I actually agree with many of them, from both sides. But please don't talk about too many politics in the videos, in the comments, because I just don't really I don't want to argue with people. I just like to talk about it generally because I think that, it's important, and I think that it's very much a part of American life now. That's why I really feel bad for the kids growing up, because when I grew up, I didn't think about politics, not until I was in, I think it was 6th or 7th grade when Obama became the president. But even after that, I didn't worry about it until I think I got into like 11th grade in high school, like my junior year of high school and senior year, that I actually had real opinions. But even now, though, I wouldn't even consider that opinions because I kind of just took on what my parents' opinions were. And now I have opinions from some of my parents, but also I've made my own that actually differ from them. So, I'm sorry, I lost my track of thought. So I've been working at the shoe store, been going to a new school, really liking both of those things. So I actually came to the conclusion over the summer that I feel that video gaming, and this is gonna sound hard to you guys or shocking to you guys, because you guys know I'm a huge gamer. But I actually decided to make the conscious decision to actually put all my video games in a box and will not touch them, until either the winter break or whatnot. And believe it or not, I've held up to that for the most part. So I have my PS4 out, and I've actually been watching DVDs on my PS4. The only game I have out is Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends, even though I have 9, but we don't talk about 9, because I don't like it. What's it called? So, this guy just cut in front of me. So anyway, so I'm driving clearly, but I'm actually, things are going, I shouldn't say this, but things are actually, traffic's moving well. That's the best part about my schedule, is that I never hit traffic, honestly, at all, you know, for the times that I leave and go to school, and either way, you know, so I like that a lot. So, but anyway, getting back on topic with video games, I've actually, so my PS4 and Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends are out. However, Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends, I've only played once, and it was for a half an hour. And I was just kind of craving to play a video game, and so I wanted to play it. And I played it for a half an hour, and school hadn't even started yet. Now, my 3DS, here's the big, this is the big, like, divide in my head. I actually play my 3DS at night every single night before I go to sleep. I've actually been doing this since my junior year of high school, meaning I've been doing it 5 years straight. And I've actually conditioned myself that it's actually hard for me to fall asleep without playing my DS beforehand. And so it's a habit. It's it's a habit, and honestly, video gaming for me was an addiction, and that's why I got rid of it. Now, many of you are probably thinking, well, you don't have to be addicted to video games if you can just do it responsibly. That's the problem. Video games are not the problem. It's me. It's that I could not handle video games responsibly, and so I have to take a step back from it. Even now, I'm worrying because they're making Spyro Reignited, where it's the first, second, and third Spyro games, which were the 3 that I played, which were actually the first video games I ever played on a console that I owned. And they're making them all in one game for us to download or buy. I'm actually nervous because that comes out in late November, and I have to try and I'm going to have to control myself, because I'm definitely going to get it the day it comes out, but I have to force myself to wait until December 22nd. That's when classes end. And that's going to be hard because it's around that time, late November in school, when, you're doing final projects, final assignments, you're studying for the final, and tests, and you want to end the semester well. And it's going to be hard because I'm going to really be craving to play. But I'm just going to have to push through it. It might not even be a bad idea. I don't have to get Spyro the day of. What I might do is I might ask for it for Christmas, and then that's obviously an appropriate time. It just kind of sucks because I know that my Christmas break is always rushed because Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, my birthday's the 28th, and then New Year's. So that's all in one. That's always like a hectic or fast-paced week for me. And then I'm going on vacation for a week, and I don't even know when that is. And so obviously I'm not going to be able to play, on vacation. So that's why I'm like, man, like I really want to play Spyro though. And before you know it, then spring semester starts. So I have to, but I really want to do good this semester because I truly believe that I can get an A+ in all 4 classes I'm taking. And I don't see why I can't. And I know that I can. And I'm declaring this to you guys because I plan on doing this. I had in Suffolk a 2.5 GPA. That was my ending GPA. That's really poor, by the way. I think that's probably like either a C- or like a D+. It's a really, maybe not that low, maybe a C. I don't know. We'll go with that. But it's because I think a 3.0 is kind of like a B. So 2.5, I guess, is probably a C. But yeah, no, it was really poor, and honestly, I'm really disappointed in myself that like I don't care enough about my future that I would just play video games when I should be studying or doing homework. And that's kind of sad, you know? And so this semester, I'm determined to do really well while putting video games to the side. As for the 3DS, that is actually the only exception I'm going to allow, because I use it only to go to sleep. That's the only reason I'll play. You know, so I'm never going to. I never play my 3DS during the day. I only play it at night when everything's done and I'm ready to go to bed. So that's kind of the rule. But I have to be careful because I have to admit, like, I've been seeing like Minecraft for some reason. That's always a game I go back to every once in a while, and I've been wanting to go back to Minecraft. And then I was thinking, then there's Spyro, and then and then like the new Smash Bros. And actually, I wanted to tell you guys, I actually did get a Switch, and I only had it for 4 days, and then I returned it. That's how serious I am about this. And my Switch, I played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It was awesome. I played Breath of the Wild. It was incredible. Played Mario Odyssey. Incredible. I mean, I can see why the Switch is doing so well. Those games are honestly really well made. But I only got 4 days with them, because then I realized the Switch would be such a distraction for me that I just can't handle it. You know, if I can get a 4.0 this semester, I will buy back. I think my parents would even buy it for me. They'd say, Jake, you earned that Switch, we'll buy it for you. So, because my parents paid a lot of money for this tuition. My parents are paying for me for school. And so I have to make it up to them by doing well, you know? So I don't want to disappoint my parents. That's one thing I always try and do is I want to not impress my parents, but I want my parents to be proud of me, you know? And my parents never have anything, you know, because you know how sometimes parents boast about their children, and my parents aren't like that because my parents are humble. But, you know, if it comes up in conversation, my mom or dad will be like, oh, well, Jake did this, you know, and I'll be there and I'll be like, oh, yeah, I did blah, 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 blah. And so, you know, my parents haven't done that in a while because I don't really do a whole lot, you know what I mean? Like, so, you know, yeah, that's kind of where I've been at. So I've kind of just been not playing video games. As for my book, for those who are interested in the book I'm writing, so I was telling you guys, I think it was either earlier this video or last video, how I've been watching Star Wars with my cousin. We started from episode 4 and we just finished episode 7 last Saturday or Friday, and actually today we're going to try and see if we can do episode 8 because he literally moves to California tomorrow. So we're going to try and fit in today to watch episode 8, but he's packing and stuff, so I'm not even expecting that I'm going to be able to see him. But obviously I'm hopeful. You know, and so he actually wants to be, his overall goal is to be a movie director. And I can totally see him doing it. He's loved movies his entire life. He's made short films since he was little. His uncle is actually, this is his name, I'm not making this up. His name is Big Pussy. And he, and I know it's funny, but listen, that's his, like, you know, his stage name. And he was in The Sopranos, and that's a pretty popular, you know, thing. And so he's always had, and his family especially loves Star Wars and movies beyond Star Wars 2. So, you know, it's like, I think he's definitely destined to be a director. So the reason I'm talking about him so highly is because he has written books and movie overviews and writings, and he's done these things. And so when I told him about the plot of my book, he had said, I think that your book moves too fast. All of a sudden your characters are in one place and going to another. And honestly, I think he's right. I think that my book, I don't think it's necessarily bad, but I think that he's right. I think that it's because the thing is, the book is supposed to be about a young man who grows up in a tribe, and literally it goes from when he's 12 all the way until his death when he was 32. And that's a lot of time, and I think that's the thing with readers, is that they want stories that flow and that aren't skipping around so much time, so it's easier to visualize. And who knows, I might be able to return to it one day. But I think that my first book was too ambitious. So I had actually started a second overview for a second book, and it was actually the sequel to the first book I was writing. And then I decided, same thing. I think it just moves too quickly, and it's not good. So now I'm actually developing a book that I think is actually coming along really well. I'm just writing the overview, and I have things in my head, but I'm not entirely sure. Something still feels missing, but I'm gonna start writing the overview, or I've already started, but I'm gonna start continuing, the overview. And just hope that thing that clicks with me works. But this story has elements from the first book, I was writing. But it'll flow. It'll be about a character and his experiences, but all in one age. I think there's just going to be one time where it skips 1 year and it's relevant to the story, and then after that it stays consistent. So I think that I have a good idea now of how I should write and what I should write about, and it's fun. I admit, though, it's really hard. It's daunting because, yesterday or the other day, I was trying to create a world. I think world building is huge when creating anything, like a movie, book, film, video game. World building is really important. I think that that's something that's overlooked because you're just oh, well, I'm just going to make characters and just, they'll just be in this world, but I'm going to focus more on the characters and the plot. And focusing on characters and plot are definitely two very important things, but I think world building is actually equally as important. So one thing I've done, because I'm sure you guys have thought, oh, Jake, well, if you're not watching video games, what are you doing? And you make a good point. So what I have been doing is I've been reading, but I've also been watching DVDs. And I actually started to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I finished this summer. And honestly, for those who like anime and cartoon shows, Avatar: The Last Airbender was incredible. I remember watching it as a kid, and I just watched it whenever it was on, and I liked it a lot. But I didn't really, focus on the story and the characters and the plot. I just focused on whoever was bending and what they were bending. And so what happened was, I watched it. I was like, let me watch it. Let me see how I like it. I was in love with it. It is probably one of the best. It is probably the best animated Nickelodeon show that they've produced from Nickelodeon. Maybe other than SpongeBob, because SpongeBob's incredible. But in terms of the story and stuff, and characters and plots, obviously Avatar: The Last Airbender is far more superior. It was just so incredible, and so I loved it. And then I watched The Legend of Korra, which didn't end me on a sour note, but it ended me on a note that I was kind of not as excited about Avatar: The Last Airbender, or the Avatar series, as I was originally with ending with Avatar: The Last Airbender. Because I don't think The Legend of Korra is necessarily bad, but I just think that it's not as impressive as, Avatar: The Last Airbender. So, what's it called? But that'll be another thing. I was thinking, I actually had a question for you guys. How would you guys feel about me making videos about things I want to see for future games? Because, like, I have ideas in my head about what I'd love to see for, like, the Pokemon Gen 4 remake. Or what I want to see for the next Animal Crossing. Or, like, ideas I have for, like, the next Paper Mario. You know, I was curious, would you guys want me to make videos like that? Because I think that they would take a pretty long time to produce, because they wouldn't be like this format. It would be almost like a Snowman gaming format. And I'd love to make it like that. Like a video similar to the way he makes videos, but kind of just put in my opinions of what I think would make future games really good. And let me know in the comments what you would think about that. You know, because it wouldn't be a priority making these videos. Like, the videos I make here, the random ramblings, they're really easy to make because I don't even have to edit them. I literally just upload them the way they are and they're ready to go. But with that kind of video, I would record gameplay. I would, probably even make like a little script. So, it would take effort, and it would, and obviously, again, I'm focusing on school, but I would certainly be willing to put in the time if even just one of you wanted to see one of those videos, because I think I have really good ideas that would be really cool if the games, implemented the ideas I have, and obviously I'd like to hear your ideas as well. So let me know in the comments, guys, what you think. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go, because I'm actually going to make another video in this session, because I'm actually very close to where I get off on my exit now, actually. So yay, I'm almost home. But yeah, no, so please, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments, would you like me to make, in addition to random ramblings videos that I kind of review, not necessarily review games, but make my own personal list of ideas of what I would want to be added in those games, and if you guys would be interested in watching a video like that. And please be honest with me, because I don't want to make videos that people don't really care to listen to. You can say, you know what, Jake, I have to be honest, I really just like your random ramblings videos. I practically, like, realistically, I wouldn't watch what you're talking about, and that's fine. I'd rather you guys be honest with me. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you so much, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.